Hi guys, let's talk about the beginning of May. All right, this is the way these videos are going to go. I'm front loading all of the individual signs with the astrology. I'm time stamping. I'm going to time stamp for the astrology. The astrology and the aspects are going to be the same for all the signs. So if you're watching for your sun or your rising, your moon, your Venus, whatever it is now, and you want to check one of your other signs, just go into the description box and you could just click forward to ahead to the tarot portion, because there are going to be 3 sections, okay, for each of the signs. So there's going to be astrology, and then there's going to be career, and then there's going to be a relationship read. All right, so each of those sections are going to be timestamped. Well, the astrology won't be because I'm starting with that, but then I'm going to timestamp for the career and the relationship just for your ease, and so you don't have to sit through the whole video and all the astrology each time and go searching for all of that stuff, okay? So I hope that helps you guys out. But I always like to start with the astrology, guys. You know, my heart is with tarot, but it's also with astrology, right? So I can't separate the two. So I want to just talk about, we're just going to be dealing with the first week of May right now, okay? And so we had some big aspects coming on, and hallelujah, May is going to be so much better than flipping April. It really is. We have a very, very positive full moon happening on the 7th, so I just wanted to talk about that. Now, on the 3rd, on May 3rd, that's the only little bit of a, I'm just going to call it a little bit of a wonky energy. It's Venus square Neptune. Venus is great. Venus, obviously, we talked a lot about Venus yesterday in my Venus video. I'm going to link that above and in the description box, by the way, having to do with Venus retrograde. But Venus is going to be square Neptune. And remember, Neptune is all about illusory and not feeling firmly footed. So we have Venus in there, which is about love and having to do with money and having to do with our self-esteem. So it's like feeling foggy about those things. It's not going to be a very long energy that we're going to have to deal with, and everything else is really positive, but let's just give it a little, a little attention, just so that if you guys are feeling this way, you know that that's what it is, and you're not like losing your mind or spiraling down into a deeper state of depression or whatever you might be feeling right now, which, you know, guys, a lot of people are dealing with those, anxiety, depression. You know, it's a weird world we live in right now, right? All right, so Venus square Neptune on May 3rd. So Venus is, again, it's about love, money, self-esteem in general, but especially love and money. And Neptune is that ruler of the 12th house. It's Pisces house. It's the house of self-undoing. And that could easily make us, on the one hand, feel very victimized, right? And on the other hand, very unclear, since Neptune really is this ungrounded energy, and it really is trying to look at life through like a dirty window or a fog, kind of, right? So there's just not going to be a lot of clarity in the beginning of May, having to do with love and having to do with career. So just know that, okay? Because what ends up happening is, and the reason I say fog, because you know when you look through a fog or a dirty window, you kind of see what's there, but not really. And then what do we do as human beings? We end up filling in what we don't understand, and we fill in information to satisfy ourselves, but we can often be wrong in this energy. So just be mindful of that. So Venus square Neptune transit can lead to feelings of insecurity about yourself, even how you look, guys, like how you look, you know, because Venus is about beauty. It's about the external. So it's possible that you might feel that others are looking at you or thinking about you in a strange way, but please know that this isn't real. And any impressions like this are just going to be very distorted and won't be matching reality. So this wonky, I'm just going to call it poor self-image, can easily lead to relationship difficulties, right? Where you maybe think your partner is looking at you or thinking about you or seeing you in a certain light, and you're not feeling comfortable with it. And this could be a situation where you might be projecting some insecurities onto your relationship. And in the same way, you could also experience disappointments in your love life by forming a distorted image of someone else. And we've been kind of talking about that in the past couple of videos, where we end up projecting onto somebody what we really want them to be, and rather than maybe who they are or who they're even capable of being, and then that can end up leading to frustration. So if you're going through that, you know, just be mindful. It's just Venus square Neptune. And there's also a tendency to over-idealize romantic interest at this time, right? Really ignoring the obvious flaws that are kind of in plain sight because we have rose-colored glasses on. And, you know, I mean, we talked a lot with the Venus retrograde. as soon as the shadow starts, Venus is going to be like, here, put these rose-colored glasses on. So we just have to be a little careful of that. But regardless, situations leave you susceptible, having to do with love, to major disappointments, where you're either disappointed or maybe you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you're being treated like a doormat in some way. But this is the thing. If you're in a healthy relationship, this is really, really short-lived, because assuming that if you're in a relatively normal, whatever the hell that means, but relationship where there's mutual respect, you're going to be able to talk about how you feel. So there's going to be that open communication. So you might be feeling it for a minute, but it's nothing that communication's not going to be able to solve. Now, if you're not in a really trusting relationship, this could be a little more problematic, and matters of trust can easily become an issue. And guys, I do want to say, and this is no judgment at all, but if you're thinking about starting an affair at this time, depending on where you live, depending on the quarantine situation, and I'm even talking about like online kind of affairs, not smart, since it's going to be really difficult to hide and you're going to get busted. So, because remember, Venus goes shadow and goes retrograde. It doesn't go retrograde till the middle of the month, but it's going to be going shadow to shadow the middle of the month. And that's where the lights are just going to start to become brighter and brighter and brighter, having to do with anything that's like shady, okay? So if you're not in a relationship or a solid relationship, you can feel this incredible need for honest tenderness, just an affection, right? So your desire for this is going to end up lifting these energetic blocks that you may be having, that you don't even realize, because you don't even realize when we put these energetic blocks up, right? These energetic do not disturb, right? Because my heart's still broken, or do not disturb because I'm choosing to still have feelings for somebody else. Those are going to kind of be lifted, but you have to stay conscious of this very confusing Neptunian influence. I'm not saying not to get involved with anybody, just be careful. Again, even like I mentioned, having to do with Venus retrograde, that reality is actually what it is, and that you're not filling in or seeing things that aren't there. Because it would be great if you can wait until after this transit before committing yourself in a new way, or being too trusted to somebody new. And that goes for the newness element, not obviously if you're in a relationship again. Poor self-esteem and lack of self-discipline in this energy big time. So it can be really difficult to stay on that diet, to maybe not drink so much, any kind of partying, anything like that. Shopping therapy, getting online, right, and doing some shopping therapy, anything that makes you feel good. You just more, it's going to be harder for you to control this. You're definitely going to be more susceptible to the depressive influences of alcohol during this energy, and more susceptible to poisoning in general, guys. I mean, I'm not a fear monger. I don't like that. Also, I just want to take this opportunity to say, stay away from fear-mongering sites. These people who are just like all about doom and gloom and everything. Guys, life is cyclical. We are human beings. We are strong. We're resilient. We're going to get past all of this stuff. And if you hyper-focus on any of the negative aspects having to do with readings, or any of the, the negative news that you hear, like attracts like, right? So you don't want to really swim in negativity. You just don't want to do that. All right. But that being said, I do have to remind us, right, that Venus being in square with Neptune does rule disease, right? It's a Pisces energy, and viruses, right? Anything that kind of like hides sort of underneath the surface. So you just want to be a little careful now, because addiction is definitely more likely. Like if you were to dabble in drugs, it's much easier in this energy to become addicted. If you weren't a big drinker beforehand, but you're starting to drink more, that maybe you're out of work or working differently, it's the energy is like can really suck you down that rabbit hole. So just be careful of anything like that, any kind of potential overdoing. Let's just leave it there. Okay, so now let's go on to a couple of things that are way more, if you want to say, positive and less challenging. Not that one's going to be that challenging, because it's not going to be that long-lived, but that's the most challenging of the week. So we're going to have Sun conjunct Mercury on May 4th. So this is going to put a focus on your thinking and communications. You're going to be very, very busy mentally. We're all going to be very busy mentally. All right. Your mind will be on, what idea is going to favor you the most? What path is going to bring you where you really want to go? Really kind of feeling very comfortable making decisions in this energy, and as far as like, particularly having to do with the pragmatics of your life, right? So I just feel like, clearing out paperwork and bills. You're going to be receiving letters and sending emails, and a lot of us are going to start feeling a little more ready to socially distance and do it responsible, but to get out around town, even if it's just for like short little trips, we're going to start to feel ready to do that. Because Mercury rules communication, thinking patterns, rationality, reasoning, right? Remember, Mercury rules Gemini, but also rules Virgo. And Virgo is like a very pragmatic sign. It's like, all right, what do we have to do? So you're really going to be in that space. Also, primary and secondary education, your neighborhood, siblings, cousins, short distance, transport, like I mentioned, news and information. These things are all ruled by Mercury, right? And so the sun is hanging in there with these ideas. So you're probably going to be talking a lot to some family, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, doing a lot of exchange having to do with education. Those of us who are in higher ed, who are teachers, we're getting ready for our end of the semester. Those, our students are getting ready for studying for finals, or doing those, in my case, those final essays and all of that. So lots of busyness there. You're going to be just very fast, lively, adaptable, very almost in an unemotional and curious way. You're just going to be like sucking in information. So I really like it. You're going to want to, just have conversations on topics that interest you, because hello, that's Mercury. It's the intellect, right? It's all of that. So this is a great time to make plans to start business deals, to bargain and sell. This is a great week to do a bit to engage in a business deal. It really, really is. Even though Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Gemini, which is ruled by Venus is going to, did I say Mercury? Venus is going to be going retrograde in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury in the middle of the month. But you could start something here that you've already begun the process on, in particular. Especially if you've already, brand spanking new, maybe not so much. But if you've been thinking about it, really good energy to do that. Then on the 7th, we have Mercury sextiling Neptune. We like when the planets have sex. It's good for us. It's very benefic. So this is good for relaxation, creativity, communication, anything spiritual. So for those of you who are going through, Libras in particular, going to be going through this in this energy, like spirituality pursuits, thinking about things, looking at life in a different way. Great energy to be doing that. Your words can be very soothing and can actually become healing to others, to each other. There's just going to be this sense of calming about this. All of your senses become very acute, enabling you to pick up a lot of extra information through your intuition, right? Because Mercury communication and Neptune rules Pisces, that, the eldest water sign. It's about intuition full force. So you might even be receiving a lot of messages through your dreams, through very serendipitous circumstances, but through your higher consciousness. Really nice. Chance encounters, hearing from somebody you haven't heard from in a while. Great time to do anything creative. I mean, anything from writing, artwork, anything differently that you do. We could be creative with anything that we do. So it's just a very, how do I want to say, a time of epiphanies and beautiful rolling out of these seeds that you've been cultivating, and your subconscious are going to pop up to your conscious mind, and you're really going to want to really push things forward. So I really like that. You're going to feel so ready for socializing in this energy. Absolutely. And relationships are really going to benefit in this energy as well. Very compassionate, very spiritual. There's a spiritual and compassionate element about this transit, so I do like it. Now we have to talk about the last thing that I want to mention for the week. Scorpio full moon on Thursday the 7th is the first positive moon phase for 6 weeks. Yes. This has a very spiritual, a very healing, a very compassionate influence, because Mercury sextiling Neptune in there as well. It's just like, wow. And Scorpio is that deep water sign ruled by Neptune, which is all about changes and transformation and allowing cycles to end to allow beautiful cycles to begin. Now, that doesn't mean the ending of things. It means the ending of a cycle. So it doesn't have to mean the ending of that relationship, or it doesn't have to mean totally the ending of that job. It's going to resonate with everyone a little differently. But generally, people are going to be more sympathetic and understanding in this energy, and it'll make you more sensitive and better able to understand any areas that you have conflicting emotions in, which isn't that awesome, right? Clarity is always a friend, right? But importantly, it's really going to help you to see a brighter future, which is awesome. Things are just going to start to feel and look a little brighter, like you see the light at the end of the tunnel for, the end of the virus, right? They're calling the new normal, whatever the heck you want to call it, is really going to start to make sense. And we're going to start to feel a little more comfortable about taking those chances and doing things responsibly as a people, responsibly. Trusting that people are just not going to be irresponsible, But what does this full moon mean? Sun opposite moon brings your home, your family, intimate relationships into sharper focus for the following 2 weeks of this moon phase. Opposing forces such as work versus home, even if you're working from home, which working from home, I find it kind of like weird to balance out, like, am I working? Am I not working? I'm like putting dinner on while I'm like working. And it's just like, it's strange. So you're going to be looking at that balance, not in a bad way, in a good way, in like a problem solving way. So I do like that. And what you need versus what you want, right? A lot of us are going to be in that phase, creating this inner tension and external pressures, or any area where there's a creation of internal versus external pressures is going to be looked at right now, and in a really positive way. Now, you just want to be careful. For a minute, this could lead to conflict and crisis that drain your energy, but it's only because you're doing some really good active thinking. So it's more of like a mental kind of drain, but it's not bad. It's good because it's towards something good. But if you're feeling extra tired, I always say that in full moon energies, unless you have natal retrogrades in, like a Cancer energy in the 4th house, you might feel really more energetic during a full moon. But generally speaking, most people feel kind of tired. You just do. So let's talk about a couple of aspects going on here. We have the full moon opposite Mercury. This makes the understanding and communication, your feelings, a major theme in this phase. Inner conflicts between your thoughts and feelings might occur. You might feel kind of polarized in your thinking. That's completely natural now. It really, really is, because the moon is I feel and Mercury is communication. So it's what you feel deep inside, and it's how you're communicating with the external world. But this is good, because this is really going to be helping you to get in touch with areas that there are imbalance. Misunderstandings and arguments can happen, but the harmonious aspect of Neptune reduces this. So even though that might be happening where there might be some conflict, Neptune comes in and is just like, okay, kids, I'm the dreamer. Let's just take a deep breath and just meditate. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. It kind of soothes the influence a little bit, which I do like. This is a really good moon for spending time in reflection, talking to really good friends about how you feel, getting in touch with where you sense you're holding back in life, whether that has to do with your job or relationship, with your sense of self, anything. Now, this full moon trine Neptune heightens your emotions, imagination, creativity. This reduces anxiety and makes misunderstandings less likely. And if disagreements do occur, this harmonious and compassionate and very spiritual influence is going to incite forgiveness. It's going to incite cooler heads prevailing. It's just going to diffuse things really quickly, and which is great because we haven't had an influence like this in a while, to be honest. You may dream up or fantasize about an ideal partner, but are just as likely to meet somebody special now. So whether it's in your fantasy mind or in real life, relationships formed during this new moon phase have a very soulmate feel to them. Very soulmate feel. So friends may come to you for advice during this energy as well, a shoulder to cry on. You know, maybe you're dealing with some friends who are, you know, struggling right now, either with the virus or with money. You know, and again, I say that as a New Yorker because a lot of us know people who have the virus now because we're just so slammed with it. But I know a lot of you guys are super fortunate in places where it's been better contained. But regardless, your caring, sympathetic side is very enhanced during this new moon energy. A lot of empathy, a lot of caring, and it's going to come very naturally, so really nice. And then finally, we have Mercury sextiling Neptune. It's virtually exact. So this is occurring just 3 minutes before the full moon, so very close there. So this positive aspect far outweighs the challenging influence of the full moon opposite Mercury. Any of those little snafus that I said about communication, this outweighs it. So yeah, just generally people are going to be good during this energy. Very sympathetic, understanding. You're going to be very sensitive, especially those of you who, I don't know, as we say, are awake, are in touch, are spiritually aware. You're going to feel very sensitive to the vibrational energies going on now, to other people in your environment. Man, especially those water signs, right? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you're going to be vibing the energy a lot around you. Not in a bad way, in a good way. You're going to be able to sort of, and it's going to be helpful to the people in your life because you're going to be able to tap into your intuition in a way where you're just going to be able to sense if somebody needs something. Right? Which is really beautiful. So I do like this. And, you know, generally, we're all going to be feeling a more idealistic view of the world. Now, that has a lot to do with, okay, I mean, Mercury sextiling Neptune, but I have to say that also, you know, Venus is going to be retrograde. So there's going to be some, you know, sweet-colored rose juice thrown on everything, you know, right now, which is nice. You know, you could trust your feelings right now, guys. Seriously, like, we're all going to be feeling very sensitive. And trust your feelings, right? Because this aspect gives Mercury sextile Neptune gives very accurate intuition and perception skills, which I really like. A lot of you guys are going to be tapping into your psychic abilities where you're going to sense something before it happens. You're going to sense somebody reaching out to you before they do. You're going to be sensing these things. Lots of dreams here, lots of dreams with messages. So if you're remembering your dreams, really sit down with yourself quietly and think through. If you want, write it out, but figure out what message is trying to be sent to you, given to you in that moment. Yeah. I mean, I really like it. Very healing energy, very healing, great for romance, great for intimacy, great for feeling connected. And if nobody's in your life, you could be feeling super tight with your kids, really close to your friends, just very up in your feels in a positive way about everything. And again, last little bit, this is a great full moon. For those of you who are creatively inclined, artistically inclined, writers, anything, great pursuits for energy to pursue things like literature, drama, poetry, singing. In the same way, relaxation, yoga, meditation. Great. This is a great time, guys. For those of you who never believed in meditation, were never on board with it, didn't get it, couldn't relax well enough to stay in place to do it. I get it. We've all been there at one point, right? Before we learn the process. So this is a great energy to do it. And there are so many great videos that can help you through that. So why not, right? If you have the time, why not? All right, guys, that is the astrology section. So now I'm going to go pull signs. Pull cards for each of your signs, okay? See you guys on the other side. Okay, bye-bye. Hi, Virgo. Let's get into your career. In the pre-shuffle, look what came out, 2 of Cups. So we like that for career. This is really nice. This can indicate a new partnership. This can indicate a new job. This can indicate a new path within the career that you're in. It's a Venus and Cancer energy, right? Venus rules money, as well as love and self-esteem. And Cancer rules safety and home. So whatever it is, whatever this is that's going to be coming in, it's going to be bringing you the money that you need to get through whatever it is that you're going through. Nice. Four of Wands energy. This is the current situation right now. Four of Wands is a very strong foundation card. It's having a fire in your belly to keep going, keep progressing in something. Ace of Swords, there's a lot of truth having to do with this. All right, let me pull the cards and then we'll circle back to that, okay? King of Coins in reverse in the past. So that tells me that you are having some issues with money coming into this time. At least not feeling completely in charge of your money, right? This is an Aries and Taurus. So Aries is the Emperor. It's about being large and in charge, right? And Taurus has to do with Pentacle energy being ruled by Venus. Again, one of the money planets. So in reverse, this is telling me that you were doing something that you didn't feel either really good about yourself, coming into this energy. The money wasn't coming in, you weren't feeling good about yourself, having to do with your work. Maybe you're working differently, not really liking it. Maybe you're out of work, you were furloughed, whatever it was. But this idea of money not coming in. Now, during this energy that we're talking about here for this first week of May, we have the Four of Wands, right, is the situation, and then that's being crossed by the Ace of Swords, which is the truth of a situation. So some sort of reality coming to light. So some sort of, because swords are truth, swords are communication, and Ace is a brand new beginning. So I do like this. This indicates to me that there's going to be some sort of communication coming in that's going to offer you a strong foundation as you move forward. Right now, also, crowning you is the Six of Coins. Love it. So this is about feeling protected. Feeling, not feeling protected, but feeling like you feel like you have what you need. You are getting money from someone. You're able to give someone money. There's this reciprocity happening here. The Six of Coin energy is I have your back, you have mine. And so it's this, I like this, Virgo, for you, because it's like this reciprocity. I feel like there's this helping out. And then we have the Two of Cups. I feel like there's another energy here. So I feel like somebody is helping you with your career or helping you out right now, if it's not through giving you a loan or just offering you a new position or really analyzing your skill set and trying to help give you some direction. But this is what I see happening here. Now, in the foundation, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So this indicates delay. Whenever we have wands, wands are also passion and forward movement. So Ace, again, is a brand new beginning, but because it's in reverse, this is telling me that you're not going to have this brand new beginning right now. It's delay. It just means delay. That's all. It's not negative. It just means not yet. And, depending on where in the world you live, you may be experiencing quarantine, or even if you're in one of those states where the economy is opening back up again, you realize that the job that you had just wasn't available to you in the same way. Right? In the same way. So there's just going to be this newness is what I'm feeling here. Right now, you're the Page of Coins in the reverse. So yeah, I mean, page energies are always a new cycle. And obviously coins, because this is a career read, it has to do with resources. So the resources are not coming in as you're entering this new cycle. So that could have to do with this delay, the delay here that we're talking about. And you're feeling the sense of lack because of this external energy of the Knight of Swords. And whenever we have sword energy reverse, it's this idea of there not being full communication. So communication, if it is coming in, it could be coming in not in, there could be like lying through omission, but there could also be this, it could even just be, though, somebody not wanting to tell you the full truth because they don't want to admit it to themselves. Really, it could be that kind of energy. This is Taurus and Gemini. So whenever we have the Gemini energy in reverse, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury reverse can indicate some sort of manipulation. Okay, and Taurus being ruled by Venus, having to do with money. So it can become some kind of manipulation having to do with the reality of what's going on, having to do with your career and your job. External, right? So that's not you, that's coming at you externally. And that's why you're like, oh my God, like what is going on here, with my money and my job and whatever. Faith is in your fear position in reverse. So, when we have faith reverse, it's about rethinking our belief system and what we knew to be true, having to do with this career, having to do with life in general, but particularly because this is a career read, having to do with this career. You being afraid to understand that things need to be markedly different than they are right now. And this is a little scary to you because this is also a Taurus energy, and Taurus is an earthy pentacle energy, again, also connected to money. Right? So you're in the space of realizing, I really need to think about money differently. I really need to think about how I'm making money differently. And it's scaring you because you don't have all the information right now. But I'm not worried because look what you are here. The Emperor. Love it. Beautiful. Large and in charge. This is an Aries energy ruled by Mars. It's about getting on that path and saying, okay, you know what? I might not have all the answers, but I'm going to give this a go anyway. And it's allowing that fire in your belly because Aries is it's the youngest fire sign. It's like, come on, let's go. Who the hell cares with all of these tangential problems that you're throwing at me might cause in the end. Let's just go and give it a shot. We'll worry about the other stuff later. That's kind of this energy. Yet you're in control. And there, and the only caveat here is you might find yourself kind of rigid in your thinking, like a little one way, but so what? You know what? This is going to end up pushing you forward. So I do like this. This is a new path for you. Now, in the near future, we have the Three of Cups in the reverse. So this is a Mercury and Cancer energy. So again, what I say about Mercury in reverse, there could be some sort of manipulation, somebody talking out of both sides of their mouth, and this making you feel very uncomfortable. Okay, you just feeling really uncomfortable. But the thing is, I'm not really that worried about it. This is a minor arcana. I don't think it's going to last. We have the Two of Cups up right here. I just feel like, Virgo, you're going to be dealing with somebody in your energy that is going to be manipulative. That's not going to give you all of... Manipulative is maybe a little negative. Some of you may be dealing with that, but others of you may be dealing with somebody who's just not giving you the full scoop. Because the Three of Cups reverse also indicates some level of irresponsibility. Maybe not showing up in the best way that they could have showed up. Now, that could be you or could be them. Right? Where there's some level of irresponsibility. I highly doubt it's you because you guys are Virgos and you guys are super responsible, but this might be an energy that you're having to deal with. But again, not to repeat myself, it's a minor arcana. I don't feel like it's going to be a big deal, but you're going to be dealing with somebody who is not a very healthy communicator when it comes to your career. So just know that going in, and know that the final outcome here with the Emperor energy is all you need to focus on right now, because it's all about a new path or a new perspective within the field that you're already in. There is a newness here, though. There's a letting go of what was. King of Coins, and you weren't making, like, the money wasn't there, the feeling connected to it, feeling supported wasn't there, right? And you're very ready for this new beginning. And I feel like it's going to happen, but you're going to be dealing with an energy that you just have to make sure that they walk their talk. You know what I'm saying? And do your Virgo thing. Do your Virgo thing. Be very critical of what's being presented to you, right? I don't even have to tell you guys that, but do that and be very pragmatic in what's being presented to you. I don't have to tell you guys that either, because you guys are all about pragmatics. But that is what I have for you guys for career. So now let's get into, for that first week in May, let's get into relationship. Those of you who are in a relationship, open to relationship. Guys, I do the love only once a month. I should be putting it out next week for singles and couples. Tarot only, no astrology, just straight up relationship read. So if this doesn't resonate with you, check in next week, right? It's too many of you general reading on this platform. Can't possibly catch everybody. Okay, so we're going to do past, present, future, and some clarifiers. Isn't that interesting? We get the Three of Cups energy in reverse again here. All right. What's going on, Virgo? Get Judgment reverse here. Judgment is a Pluto energy, right? It's about something ending and something being transformed so that you can work towards healing and forgiveness, right? Because judgment is about forgiveness. But in the reverse, this tells me that something ended and it's not going to be transformed, and you walked away from what you recognize as being a very toxic situation. This is a Saturn and Pisces energy. It's like, you know, became way too heavy and was not going to bring you what it was that you wanted. So it's recognizing that, and even though it's challenging, finding the gumption to walk away. So we have the Five of Swords energy, and this is you recognizing with the Venus and Aquarius energy that things are not going to be any different than they have been up to this point, even though you guys are, and that is the reality of the situation, because it's a sword energy, and swords are truth and communication. So it's realizing that things aren't going to be any different, you know, trying to figure out how things are going to be different, trying to figure that out, but then realizing here we have a book ended with the Judgment reversed. So here with the Aquarius energy, it's like, all right, how can we do something different to make sure this doesn't happen again? But yet I see the transformation not actually happening. So I see this is in the past. So some of you may in the past have ended a relationship. Then we have here, we have the Lover's energy. Now Lover's energy is a great energy in that it's recognizing that something's not perfect, that you guys have stuff, there's fishes in the foundation, but with the blessing of Archangel Raphael and the luminary of the sun, you guys are going to be able to move forward. Some of you guys might be dealing with a Gemini, or Gemini might be a play here somewhere, but that is what the Lover's energy does indicate. I like it because it's this at least initial understanding of, okay, let's do this together. But then we have the Ten of Coins in reverse. So this is a Mercury and Virgo energy. And again, when Mercury is reversed, I always get concerned about some manipulation, right? And it's Mercury and Virgo. So to me, it's kind of like a double Mercury, right? Because Mercury rules Virgo. So, right? And Virgo is also about money. So there might have been some sort of manipulation regarding money within this connection, with somebody not coming to full disclosure, some sort of issue happening regarding money where the full story was not given. And then we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So this is Mercury and Cancer energy. Again, Mercury in reverse is about some sort of manipulation, some sort of, you know, and in the Cancer energy, I just feel like, you know, this could be irresponsible partying. This could be irresponsible behavior. This could be some sort of manipulation. This could certainly be either you or somebody you're dealing with, maybe entertaining or being very flirtatious. This is irresponsible flirting too. Somebody flirting with somebody online, you know, Mercury and Cancer, right? Cancer is about, I feel, it's about that metaphorical home space. It's love. Mercury's communication, you know, so is there shady behavior going on in this area, either with you or with them? But it's something I feel like there's manipulation going on. So I feel like there are two levels going on here, where it's like, on the one hand, you guys are saying that you're going to work something out, but then we have these other energies that are going on here where I feel like there's manipulation happening. And in the near future, we have the Seven of Cups energy. So the Seven of Cups, and in the reverse, it only means an increase of emotions, of feeling the not knowing, quite a bit confused, right? Knowing what's in Five of the Cups, not knowing what's in Two. This is a Venus and Scorpio energy. So Venus rules the relationship sector, as well as money, as well as self-esteem. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, though. It's all about transformation, right? And it's so it's you knowing the transformation is happening. You know it, but you being really concerned about not knowing how this is going to fare and how it's all going to work out, because there's an element within this connection, Virgo, I'm getting very strong, that you don't trust. There's something about this that you don't trust. Yeah, look. And then we have the Seven of Swords energy. This is the card of thievery, right? Seven of Swords. And I always, those of you who've been watching me know, you know, this is a Moon and Aquarius card. Moon is I feel, Aquarius is differently. So to me, this is the card of somebody wearing a false mask, of presenting a situation in a certain way, them to be a certain way. But in reverse, this is that mask falling off. And you really seeing somebody for what they are and who they really are, right? You're really seeing the reality of someone in this relationship. Well, you wanted to believe that they were one way. You wanted to feel that they were a certain way. Maybe you were projecting that onto them because it's something that you desired. Maybe you weren't. It doesn't really matter. But they presented themselves or came across as being one way, and all of a sudden the lights went on. And the lights are going to be going on in May. Oh, they're going to be going on in May. So Yeah. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords energy, first of all, is really serving up some truth. Taurus and Gemini energy in a very practical way. Taurus is a grounded earth energy. Taurus, again, is ruled by Venus. So, and this is being super honest, front and center about the reality of a situation. Now, this could be handled in a little bit of an aggressive way. Absolutely. I like it better. And, you know, in the upright, it's somebody coming in with a belief system, with a truth. Some sort of truth is becoming illuminated. So this could certainly be you calling this person out within the Seven of Swords reverse energy to clear up this sense of confusion. So I feel like right now, Virgo, that you're in this situation where you're with somebody and you want to try to work it out with them, but there are these energies that you're just not trusting. You're sensing that there is manipulation going on here. Or there is some sort of manipulation going on, even if you're not sensing it just yet. And you want to be careful of those rose-colored glasses, right? The Venus is going to be putting on everybody as she goes retrograde in Gemini. But then I have this, you know, this confusion. You being so concerned, but then you realizing somebody's mask falling off and you calling them out on it. So that's what I have with that. Let's pull a couple of oracles and see what we get. So these I never read in reverse. Those of you who've been watching me know that. Okay. Look inside yourself. Examine what's causing you to feel this way. Let's pull the cards. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. And life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. Okay. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. And then we have Coffin. Endings bring new beginnings. Transformation, right? We talked about that. Growth, change, liberation, transition. Girl with a snake. Empath and narcissist paradigm. Being charmed or used. Enable boundaries. Boundary issues are going to have to be looked at. Then we have Two of Wands. Beautiful. New path, new beginning. Very nice. Mars and Aries. This is a new path for you guys. So I do like that. Then we have don't make decisions based on guilt, right? I already read that. Then we have self-indulgence. Focus on self-worth. Time to heal. Do that shadow work and appreciate yourself. Self-appreciation, yeah. Paradise. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. Lovely. Very nice. And then we have Six of Wands. Yes, like this, like this. This is about success and relationship and really having put in the hard work, right? In a lot of tarot decks, it's the person who's just come back from war, right? They doing all of this heavy fighting, and now they have this just very strong desire to move forward in their life, and they're going to get it. So I do like that. It's beautiful. My throat chakra is closing. Are you guys having a hard time communicating with this individual and wondering? So we have life as a series of shifting cycles, right? You need to don't resist, go with the flow. Then we have kisses, unconditional loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Nice. Mirror, yeah, listen. Mirroring each other, self-image, relationship reflects our wounds, introspection. So a lot of times when we identify things that we don't like or scared of in somebody else, we actually possess ourselves. So it seems like that's what's happening here in this connection. Then we have Princess of Cups. Beautiful. So you guys are going to be sharing, and you're going to be realizing that you need to do things differently. This is an Aquarius and Pisces energy, right? So Pisces is that deep, watery, emotional energy, and Aquarius is about doing something differently than how you've been doing it. So I do like this. So it's a good outcome, Virgo, for sure. So I like it for you. Yeah, that is what I have for you guys right now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.